Okay, let's unpack this. Um, think for a second about how much of your personal info is just out there online.
Mhm.
You know, all those cookie banners, the endless news about data breaches.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder, how exposed are we, actually?
It's a huge concern, definitely. I mean, our digital lives are convenient, no doubt, but yeah, privacy often feels like the price we pay.
Right.
Every click, every form, it leaves this digital footprint.
Hmm.
And that footprint, it's valuable and often pretty vulnerable.
Which brings us straight to today's deep dive. There's this really interesting project out of Costa Rica called ZK Voto Digital.
Ah, yeah, I've been reading up on that.
The name Voto Digital obviously hints at voting, but what's really caught my eye is how they're trying to solve this big online problem,
Yeah,
proving you are who you say you are without, like, spilling all your personal details.
exactly. It's focused on anonymous identity verification specifically for voting, which is, well, it's a tricky balance, isn't it? How do you make sure only the right people can vote, but also keep their identity completely secret and their vote secret too?
Yeah, exactly. So that's our mission today, really, to get under the hood of ZK Voto Digital. What's the tech making this possible? How does it work step by step?
Mm.
And maybe what could this mean for, the rest of our online lives?
And we've got some good source material, a transcript from a video that actually shows the system in action.
Perfect.
So the basic problem, like we said, is this constant tension. We need to verify identity online for tons of things. Voting's a big one,
Sure.
but sharing that data is risky. Data breaches aren't just abstract news stories. They hit real people.
Oh, absolutely. And that's precisely the problem ZK Voto Digital is tackling head on. It feels like they saw this widespread uh, nervousness we all have,
Mm-hmm.
that moment you hesitate before typing your info online.
Hmm.
And they thought, okay, can we build something where you can just prove, yep, I'm legit, without handing over the keys to your digital kingdom?
That's the core goal, essentially. Proof of identity without data disclosure. And the secret sauce. It's something called zero-knowledge proofs. ZUKPs for short.
Zero knowledge proofs. Okay, that sounds like serious tech jargon, maybe even a little sci-fi. Could you break that down a bit, make it less abstract?
Sure, sure. Think of it like this. A zero-knowledge proof lets you convince someone you know a secret, but you don't reveal the secret itself.
Oh, yeah?
Imagine, like, you solved one of those really complex Where's Wally pictures.
Hmm.
With a ZKP, you could prove you found Wally without actually pointing him out on the page. The other person just learns that you know where he is.
Ah, okay, the Where's Wally analogy helps. So how does that apply to proving I'm, say, a citizen in Costa Rica for their system?
Right. This is where it gets really neat. ZK Voto Digital leverages Costa Rica's existing Firma Digital that translates to digital signature.
Okay.
Right now, it's basically a digital certificate on a smart card used mainly for signing documents securely online. But what this system does is it takes the info from that certificate and uses a specific, very efficient type of ZKP technology called ZK snark circuits to transform it into these anonymous proofs.
ZK snarks. Okay, another term.
Yeah, think of ZK snarks as just a really smart, very secure way to create these proofs of identity. They're like highly compressed proofs that are super hard to fake.
So hang on. Instead of sending my name, my ID number, all that stuff online,
Yep.
the system makes this proof that basically just says, trust me, this person has a valid Costa Rican digital certificate, but it doesn't show what's on the certificate.
Yeah, exactly. You prove you possess the verified ID without transmitting the sensitive data within it.
Wow. Okay. Now, the video mentioned this currently relies on the Firma Digital. Tell us a bit more about that card itself. It sounds like it's more than just for signatures.
It is. While signing is its main job right now, it does function as a recognized form of electronic ID for Costa Ricans and residents.
I see.
And interestingly, the video also mentioned plans to integrate with Costa Rica's upcoming national electronic ID. So they're definitely thinking ahead about broader digital identity.
Good to know. Okay, so we've got the privacy problem, the ZKP solution, the Costa Rican ID Foundation. Let's get to the practical stuff. How does someone actually use this to vote anonymously? Walk us through the demo steps.
All right. So if you're in Costa Rica and want to try this, you need a few things first. Currently, it's laptop-based.
Okay, no phones yet.
Not yet, but they mentioned mobile support is planned for the future. And crucially, you need your physical Firma digital card and a card reader for your computer.
Makes sense. You need that initial physical token of identity. What's next?
First technical bit. Install a desktop application. The video pointed to GitHub, which is, like a big open library for software code.
Right.
Installers are there for Linux, Mac, Windows. Once that's on your machine, step 2 is configuring your MetaMask wallet.
MetaMask. Okay, crypto wallet. Heard of it. Why is that needed for voting?
Good question. MetaMask lets you interact with blockchain applications. ZK Voto Digital uses the Polygon blockchain to record the votes, specifically a test network called Amoy. It's like a practice area.
Yeah.
So you need to set up MetaMask to talk to this Polygon Amoy network. It involves adding some specific web addresses and network details in the settings.
Polygon is like the secure highway for the votes, and MetaMask is my digital on-ramp.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It's how your vote gets securely recorded and confirmed on that blockchain ledger.
Okay, desktop app installed, wallet configured. What does the voter do next?
Then you go to a specific website, Sakundi.io, and find the section labeled Digital Vote.
Digital vote.
Yeah, that sounded a bit odd to me too. Given the context, it's almost certainly a slight mishearing or typo in the source transcript. It should probably be Digital Vote.
Ah, okay, digital vote. That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
So we're on the digital vote website. Now what?
First, it asks you to connect your MetaMask wallet. That links your unique blockchain address to the site. Then, you just click to identify yourself as a Costa Rican citizen or resident.
And how does it check? I actually have the Firma Digital card without me uploading it or anything.
Okay, here comes the ZKP magic. After you say you're a citizen, the website prompts you to open that desktop application you installed.
Right, the local app.
You then physically insert your Firma Digital card into the card reader connected to your computer, and you type in your PIN.
So the card talks to my local software, not the website directly.
Exactly. That's key for privacy. The desktop app reads the digital certificate off your card. That certificate has the proof you're you.
Okay.
Then the app uses those ZK snark circuits we talked about to generate something called a verifier credential.
Verifier credential.
Think of it as a digital thumbs up. It just confirms, yes, this person holds a valid ID, but crucially, it reveals none of the details from the ID itself. It's the ZKP in action.
And that credential is what gets sent to the website.
Precisely. That's what anonymously proves you're eligible on the digital vote site without sending any of your actual personal data from the certificate over the web.
Wow. Okay, that is genuinely clever. So I've proved I can vote, but the website itself still has no idea who I actually am.
That's the core idea, anonymous authentication. So at that point, the demo voting question appears on the website. You pick your option.
And then?
Clicking vote triggers a transaction via your MetaMask wallet. You'll see a pop-up asking you to confirm sending the vote to the Polygon blockchain.
So the vote itself is public on the blockchain ledger.
Yes. The fact that a valid anonymous vote was cast is recorded transparently. Once that transaction confirms on the blockchain, which is usually pretty quick on Polygon, the website shows a success message. Your vote is counted.
And can people see the results?
Yep. The system allows viewing the final results, and because the votes are on the blockchain, that tally is transparent and anyone can verify it.
Okay, so let me try and summarize that flow. My personal identity, never shared online.
Yeah.
Zip, nada. The system just checks, using ZKPs generated locally, that I have a valid Costa Rican ID. Then it lets me vote anonymously. And those anonymous votes are recorded publicly and audibly on the blockchain.
You nailed it.
That feels pretty powerful. It's like this combination of keeping the individual voter private while making the overall election results transparent.
It really is. It tackles that fundamental challenge for secure, private, online voting, or really any kind of online identity check. And it's not just theory. The video had actual user feedback.
Oh, right. The testimonials from Melissa and Alberto. What stood out to you from what they said?
Well, Melissa really stressed how easy it was. She used words like fast, simple, said the website instructions were clear. She also thought the whole concept was interesting and would recommend it.
Okay, so usability seems good. What about Alberto?
Alberto keyed in on the core privacy aspect. He thought it was fascinating how he could prove he was unique, one person, one vote, without revealing any personal info to the voting system itself. He specifically highlighted that the proof, the ZKP, gets generated locally on his computer. That was clearly important to him. He did add it was simple if you're okay with using a computer and a crypto wallet already.
That's a fair point. There's still a bit of a tech curve there. But it's interesting. They both found it pretty straightforward. And Alberto's comment about local proof generation really drives home the privacy angle, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Your sensitive ID data literally never leaves your machine. Only the abstract mathematical proof goes out.
The video also wrapped up with a thank you, didn't it? to an organization called ZK Bankai.
Yeah, they thanked ZK Bankai for supporting the project.
What does that tell us?
It suggests they've got some backing, which is usually pretty vital for getting innovative tech like this off the ground and potentially scaled up. The person in the video seemed optimistic this support would help boost privacy in Costa Rica and maybe, serve as an example elsewhere.
Right. So bringing this all together then, ZK Voto Digital. It's a Costa Rican initiative tackling online privacy head-on, specifically for voting and ID checks. It cleverly blends Costa Rica's digital ID system with these powerful zero-knowledge proofs.
Right, the ZKPs.
And uses the Polygon blockchain for transparent, auditable vote recording.
That sums it up perfectly.
Ah.
It's a really novel approach, showing a possible way forward for more secure, more private online interactions, starting with voting, which is obviously critical.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to find that sweet spot, protecting the individual voter's privacy completely while making the outcome totally transparent and accountable through the blockchain.
It does seem to strike that balance quite well.
And it really makes you think beyond just voting too, doesn't it? Imagine using this.
Right.
If you could prove things like, yes, I'm over 18, or yes, I'm a resident of this area for online services without actually handing over your birthday or your address, that could change a lot.
It really could. It feels like a shift away from just trust us with all your data towards something more like, you don't need my data, just trust the math.
Exactly. Which kind of leads to a final thought, maybe for you listening. As our lives get more and more digital, how do we actually make sure that all this convenience doesn't permanently cost us our privacy?
It's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. And maybe technologies like ZK Voto Digital offer a glimpse of a future where perhaps convenience and privacy aren't always enemies, where they can actually coexist. So what other uses can you picture for this kind of tech, proving things privately online? And what could that really mean for building a digital world we can actually, trust? Something to think about.